that has not yet been approved are entered into the pipeline for approval. I've indicated all of the requirements that they've outlined, but the fourth bullet is most important. The MSBA requires the district to take new votes for the municipal governing body and school committee authorizing the district to refresh the FY 2010 SOI. So I'm requesting that the school committee take a vote tonight to designate me to move forward with refreshing the SOI for the middle school. Once this vote is taken, I need to request that the Board of Selectmen also take a vote to move this request forward so we can refresh the SOI.
And just to make it clear for the public, the reason why we're doing this, moving forward with refreshing, why we should do this, I believe, moving forward with a refresh of the middle school statement of interest with MSBA, is if MSBA only awards us a new high school project, we also want to have a middle school project in the pipeline, to continue in the pipeline for potential funding down the road. So this is I think it's a smart thing to do to protect ourselves, depending on what comes out of the feasibility study for the high school. Any further discussion on questions on the middle school statement of interest refresh for MSBA? If not, can I have a motion to direct the superintendent to submit an updated statement of interest to MSBA for the middle school?
Move to direct the superintendent to submit an updated SOI for the middle school.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Bills and payrolls are
Done.
Minutes are none. Carl, budget update?
Yes, thank you. In your packet, you have a budget report for the month of November. And this budget report reflects some of the discussions we had at the October school committee meeting. Usually it wasn't October, it was 2 weeks ago, when Patricia Bullard came in to discuss some budget issues that she has been able to observe. This report does reflect some changes to the budget so that we can cover the expenses that she quantified 2 weeks ago. You may recall that she mentioned the need for 2 additional paraprofessionals, as well as a need to increase certain tuition lines to cover costs that she has identified. We have made those changes in the budget. We've also begun to have discussions with the principals regarding even a tighter review of expenditures for the rest of this year so that we can not only maintain solvency, obviously, but as much as possible to allow us to carry over as many funds as we can for FY12 because of the difficulties that we anticipate for next year. I've also mentioned in the cover note that the other item that we're looking at under payroll involves a very high blip, if you will, in leaves of absence necessitated by teachers going out on maternity leave. Those can be costly to the district because teachers who go out on maternity leave are allowed within certain guidelines to use sick days as part of their maternity leave. So that means they're staying on the payroll. Obviously, we're also hiring a substitute teacher to come in and cover the class. So while we do budget for this, the increases this year in this present fiscal year are higher than we've seen in other years. So those are the 2 issues that I'm identifying for the month of November. Having said that, I'm confident that we are staying in the black at this point and will be as the year progresses. And I'll continue to monitor this and would be happy to answer any questions the committee might have.
Any questions? No questions? Thanks, Carl. We have bids and donations to accept. First, we have a very generous gift from Mr. Jeff Simons and his family. It's a new sign, Arthur J. Kenny Athletic Field sign in the school colors of green and gold. It's much more noticeable than the old sign, and it was installed about 2 weeks ago. And I want to thank the Simon's family, and at this point, entertain a motion to accept the donation with gratitude.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the new sign for Arthur J. Kenny Field, donated by the Simons family with gratitude. And again, I'd say that Jeff is one of the most generous people we have in this town as far as contributing to the schools. Always has been, not only in financial ways, but also in putting in time. And that's a beautiful sign out there. It's a great tribute to Mr. Kenny, who I know is a neighbor of Jeff's as well. So again, I'd move that we accept that donation with gratitude.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We also have we have another donation, but I can't. Do we have another donation?
I think there was. We have correspondence,
Oh, we have correspondence.
and we have a short administrative.
Correspondence?
Right, correspondence. In the administrative report, in your packet, I've included a recent announcement from Governor Patrick that recognizes Massachusetts grade 12 performance on the NAEP as tied for first in the nation on both English and math exams. I included this because I think it's very important that we recognize the high performance of our students across this state and keep that education central to our conversations. I also want to indicate that our North Reading High School did participate in this particular pilot of the grade 12 NAEP. So our students were included in these very high-performing students. And just a reminder that Massachusetts also tied or ranked first nationwide in both grades 4 and 8 on English language arts and math exams in 2009 as well. In addition to this, I've also included in your packet under correspondence a letter from student Cara Lafort. I'm very pleased to report that my professional organization, the Mass Association of School Superintendents, annually awards Certificate of Excellence to top performing students. And Cara Lafort is this year's recipient, and she is a senior. She received the Certificate of Academic Excellence, and she had a photograph in the newspaper, and so she wrote a thank you. So I wanted you to be able to see that. And finally, we received correspondence from the Board of Directors of the Christian Community Service Organization of North Reading and the volunteers of the North Reading Food Pantry expressing their deep gratitude to Principal Sean Colleen, the staff, students, and parents at the LD Batchelder School who decorated and filled 54 Thanksgiving boxes for local residents, as well as making a substantial monetary contribution to the food pantry.
Very good.
Fantastic.
I know, Jerry, I know some people want to get out of here quickly.
Yeah.
Just one quick thing.
All right.
I was at the Suburban Coalition Foundation meeting this past week, and the two most interesting things that came out of that meeting were Michael Widmer of the Mass Taxpayer Foundation said that unless the legislature and governor pass bills this year to start to contain health care and benefit costs, that they are going to move to put a binding ballot question on the ballot in 2012 to overhaul health care and pensions in the state. The second thing that was very interesting was a couple of the towns there were all up in arms because of all the money they're going to have to start spending to start implementing Race to the Top. And I will proudly point out that your committee decided to not participate in Race to the Top,
Unanimously.
with one of the main reasons being there were a lot of hidden costs in that program. And this was brought up by a couple of communities at the Mass Taxpayers Foundation saying, where are we going to get the money to pay for this? And I raised my hand and I said, North Reading's proud to report it doesn't have to worry about that at this time.
I'm sure you enjoyed that.
The last thing he said was to probably expect a 5% cut in state aid for fiscal 2012.
Yes.
So those are the three main things that came out of the
Thank you.
Mass Coalition.
Congratulations to Carol Lafort, by the way. too.
Oh, yeah,
That's
she's
great.
a very nice kid,
Yeah,
too.
she is.
Very nice, and it's
She was very surprised. She didn't know that
Yeah.
she had
Really.
been awarded this certificate.
Well, at this time, I think I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn right away.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Come on.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Mel. Great
Good
job.
night.
Great job. Great job. All right.
Get a second.
Someone's gonna help Cliff out of here.
Sorry?